Hey guys, I've had the MoYu RS3M V5 for about 3 weeks, and in that time I've done a bunch of testing and I've developed an opinion on it, so in this video I'm going to talk about my experiences with the cube. Out of the box, the cube was honestly pretty bad. The tensions were too tight and I had to loosen them, and it just didn't corner cut very well. Even after loosening the tensions, it wouldn't really corner cut 45 degrees unless I really put a lot of force into corner cutting. Also, I didn't have lube at the time, so I couldn't set it up properly. There was factory lube, but it was pretty bad, and honestly the cube just didn't feel that good. I thought the cube was basically going to be a worse version of the Worm V9, because I was averaging about half a second slower on it compared to the V9. I let some of my friends try the cube. Some of them liked it and some of them didn't, but I personally didn't really like it, so I put it in a box and I forgot about it for a week. But after that, I decided to give the cube another chance and set it up properly. I cleaned out all the factory lube, I redid the tensions, and I lubed it with some Lunar and Nebula, I think, and that actually made the cube a lot better. So I decided to do some focused sessions with the cube, and I was able to get multiple sub 8 averages of 100, which is pretty much what I averaged with the Worm V9. So after all that testing, I realized that the performance of the V5 after setup is actually very similar to that of the V9. I think some people might actually like it more, but there are a few differences. The V9 feels a lot more flexible and a little bit harder to control. The V5, on the other hand, feels blocky and a little bit more stable, closer to something like a Super RS3M or a Valk 3. I know some people really like using the RS3M V5 for OH. I'm really not that good at one-handed solving, but I tried it a little bit and it felt nice, so I guess it is good for OH. It is lighter than the YS3M, which is good because it makes OH turning easier, but it's also more controllable than the Worm V9, which is really important in OH when you have less control. So I think it's a good middle ground for OH solvers. I think Antonio Cam has been getting really good results on it, and he's good at OH, so yeah, I think that says more about the cube than what I could say. So now for final thoughts on the cube. Overall, I think the cube is actually really good. It does take a lot of setup and break-in out of the box to reach that performance level, but once it does, I think it's on par with the V9 pretty much. Some people might prefer it because I think it's a little bit more stable, but other people might prefer the flexibility of the V9. Personally, I get the same times on the RS3M V5 and the Worm V9, so I'm not really sure which one's going to be my 3x3 main. I might experiment with using the V5 in competition because it's a little bit more stable, and that helps when you have competition nerves, but I don't have a competition for a while, so I'm not going to be able to test that out. Next competition I go to, I do want to try using the V5 for a round. So if you're thinking about getting an RS3M V5, I would recommend it. It has really good performance and it is a lot cheaper than the Worm V9, which is definitely a good thing. Even if you already have a Worm V9, if you're interested in a cube with a more blocky turning feel that's a little bit more stable than the V9, I would recommend trying it out. You can get it from speedcubeshop.com and use my discount code JavaCuber for 5% off your entire order. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.